Alright, it's daytime, and I finished the first build of the industrial area. Here we've got everything laid out with this path area here, so I can start filling in this area as I get the necessary machines, tools, and structures. And here I finished up with the chimney here. So once I get more sticks here, I'll build that fire pit inside. I'll be able to cook more easily and more freely. Here I'm just getting some things cooked up in the meantime, but let me show you how this coke oven works. So this coke oven I'm just going to place on the side of this path right here, and how this works is you want to basically make a cube with an empty hole in the middle. Now you can sort of place anything on top of this multi-block except for more coke ovens right next to it, otherwise it'll break it. But once we do that, bam, it's now open. So what we do here, we can put up to 16 to stack these logs in here, and we don't need any kind of fuel source or anything. Put it in there and it automatically starts smelting down into some creosote, 250 millibuckets, and 1 charcoal. So that's really nice. I'm gonna have that going right there. So that's really good. And over here on this side, this will be the bloomery, which I will build later, but this here, I do want this to be built out, because once the charcoal is here, I'm going to build a, what is that called? It's a forge, yeah, there we go. So that's where we can smelt things down, although we're a little ways off there, because I'll probably want to make at least a copper anvil to get things started. So that'll be something we can do if we can fit in this episode. I'll do this episode, but besides these builds here, finishing up these builds, what I wanted to do also was to build an ice cellar so I can store all this food without worrying about it rotting too much. And this is actually part of a quest here in the animal husbandry area. I'm going to break, but this is what happens here. We need a lot more than 10 cellar walls, for sure, and these it's not too costly, but it costs quite a bit of stuff if we want to make the entire maximum size, which is a 7x7 interior. And so this is essentially what it is. I'll probably pull up the wiki and the post edit and show you what it actually looks like. But what it does is it sort of creates an environment where the TFC food doesn't rot as fast. Especially with hotter climates, it rots very fast. So I wanted to be able to store it for a long time. And I don't want to put it in the vessels. So what this does is these shelves will be able to hold food. The ice bunker here is sort of what it's like the brains of this and controls everything. The cellar door is what allows you to go inside the structure without breaking the multi-block. But the focus probably should be to gather more materials for this. So the ice bunker is not bad at all. It's just the planks here, and I can probably make it right now. Bam, we have an ice bunker. There we go, ice bunker. We need 2 cellar doors for it to work. I guess that'll be it for now until something else happens. Oh yeah, in the meantime, I was also making the leather. So what I did was take that soaked hide from here, put it in this tannin, and it becomes leather. So now I have 4 leather, which means I can go and sacrifice it in this quest. Also, I forgot, I'll be making a second coke oven, but I forgot to get that quest as well. Here, a mixing bowl is how we make fire clay, which will be needed for some other structures over here. But in order to do that, we need to make the clay bowl, which needs a knife, pretty simple, but a rolling pin, something that gets annoying because we'll need a file, and we can make this out of wood if we go back here. Just take a plank and then sticks. Hold up. It just needs a knife. We don't need a file. Wait a sec. Can I do this with a knife? Can I make this? Yes, I can. There we go. Alrighty. So I guess in the previous ones, notice that the recipe needs a file for this. So I went with a file and wasted time and material on it, but we don't actually need that. So let me grab some clay here, make that bowl. That'll be really nice right here. And mix that up. There we go. But that needs to be put in the forge to heat up. If you see here, you can put it in the forge, but you can't really put it anywhere else besides like other objects, other furnaces that we don't have access to at the moment. So that's what we're stuck with at the moment. Speaking of which, let me check on this charcoal. Oh yeah, and I also need a... What happened here is, if you see, I don't have any water jugs anymore. And I might pull some replays back, but they broke. They have a chance to break. And it just so happened that both of them broke during this episode, which is unfortunate. But these ceramic stuff do have a chance to break. So keep that in mind. Let me just grab some water. And you'll notice here in the coke oven, 5 of these logs have converted to charcoal. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio, which is nice. And there's 1,250 of creosote oil, which will be used later on for things. But for now, it's just a cool byproduct that we get. And it's more efficient for making charcoal, although it's very slow, which is why I want to invest in at least 4 of these coke ovens. And I also made a spindle, which can be used to process wool from sheep. But since there's no sheep around, at least none that I want to kill, I don't know if there's actual sheep here. This might have been, that might have been, yeah, that was a different map. There's no sheep on this island, so it doesn't really matter too much. I'll need to find sheep and kill them. But spindles can be used to spin up and process the wool. But anyways, I'm going to go collect resources and start building the Ice Cellar. Alright, just stopping to show you guys a few things while I work on getting everything set up. Collected a bunch of materials, but here, let me just create this fireplace real quick. That's 3 sticks, 3 straw for extra flammability, and just light that up, and bam! Now, what we can add in here, you can add logs in here, but we can also add what's called peat. Peat, I forgot what it is in real life, but I believe it's some kind of flammable thing, obviously. But you can dig that up from the ground. It looks kind of darkish colored, almost like mud. But you can use this as a substitute, so you don't have to waste your precious wood throwing into the fire pits. So, for example, when I'm cooking this up, I'm just going to be using peat to cook things up from now on. So that way I can save wood, and of course when I activate that forge, I'll be using coal, so I don't have to be using charcoal, which I'll need later on for making steel and for getting iron. Those you cannot substitute, which is why I want to save the charcoal. And as you can see, it's going pretty well over there. The coke oven's coking away at the wood to make it charcoal. Let me finish this up. The fire pit is just done, so I'll be able to pour some metals and get started with that metallurgy part. But here, I've got that calamari cooked in, so we're just going to light up a few sticks as torches before we head off. Alrighty, just picked up all of this stuff here. So what we have here, there's the sandwich. That was not in there. We have a mace mold. Now, why did I make a mace here? There's 1 unit of bronze here. So normally maces require, in Anvil, require 200 units, but I believe I can just fill this up with 100 units as a mold and sort of just skip, be a little cheap there. And now I get a mace, so I don't have to make that in the future, and I can now defend against skeletons really well. This does 220 attack damage, and it's crushing, so that's really nice. I won't have to fear skeletons anymore. But in the meantime, let me get this started and get all the copper poured out, because we're going to be making an anvil. Now, in normal TFC, the anvil is a bit more expensive. If you can picture what a normal Minecraft anvil is, it's that shaped, but everything is double ingots. And a double ingots are 2 normal ingots welded together, which I'll show you in a bit. But with normal TFC, you need 7 double ingots, which means you need 1,400 units of copper. But in this mod pack, the recipe is normal ingots on the top and bottom, and 1 double ingot in the middle, so that makes it 8 total, which is why I made 800 units. So thankfully it's a lot cheaper. But how do we weld things together? Well, this is where we come in with the looks like I put it away. Oops, there we go. This is where we come in with these igneous rocks. So this igneous rock, when I place this down, I believe my anvil side is going to be here. Yep. When I place this down and I right click with a hammer on an igneous rock, actually I think I might need a space at the top, so let me do that real quick. Bam, now we have a stone anvil. This is tier 0 anvil, and what we do here, we can put our stone hammer on the bottom left here and some flux on the bottom right. Let me grab that before everything cools down too much. All right, so we can grab flux, put it here, and now we can weld things together. And that's the only thing you can do with the stone anvil, since in order to work any kind of metal, you need to have something that is at that metal tier to work it. But you can weld one tier above. So notice here, things are cooling. So let me pull these out of their molds as they cool. These are at weldable temperature. So let's real quick put this together and weld them, and bam, now we have a double ingot. So that's what we will need. I'll put one of these in, and as these cool down, I can finally make that copper anvil. And I'm not going to forget, there's a quest for this, so I don't want to redo this. So there's that double, and once the normal ones come out, I will be able to complete this. And there we go. That is completed. Now I just need a copper anvil. I'll take this out since I'm going to remove it anyways really soon. But once these are all cooled down, I'll be able to craft it. Alright, so everything has cooled down now. I can craft the anvil. So let me do that here. Put them all together. You can craft them while they're still hot. And bam! Now we have a copper anvil. So let's take that quest. We have gone up a level, so that was a quest here. That was also a quest here. So we can move on to other better things along the way. But you might notice that on the bottom of the screen here it says overburdened, which means, and I'm pressing my keys here, I can't move. I can't move. So what is that? Well, because this has a weight of heavy, I cannot carry it in my inventory. If I put it here, I'm still overburdened. I need to put it on this spot right here on my back. There's a slot on my back, and I can carry heavy items. Same thing with sealed barrels, they will be heavy. So I'll need to break this stone, which won't give me anything, but that's fine. Then I'll be able to place this down, and bam, now we have the copper anvil, which is really nice. So now we have that set up. I will want to probably move straight into the bronze anvil. I don't really want to waste any copper on copper tools, even though these are breaking, because so what I currently want to do is make that ice cellar, and in order to do that, I need to make these cellar doors. If I go to the quest for that here, the cellar doors require actual doors, and to make actual doors you need planks, which is fine. These wood rings, which you can make pretty easily, so that's no biggie there. But these wood, so there is a screwdriver which we need to make, not this one. Let me cycle through to the normal one here, which needs a screwdriver tip. And this is a steel one, but we can pretend this is any metal basically. But I'll be making out of bronze since the copper ones don't have much durability. But we need steel rods or copper rods. And how we make these rods, actually let me find bronze screwdriver. Let's say normal, since I do have 2 cassiterite left. How do I make this? Well, we need to take a piece of bronze and then file it down, but we need a file. And in order to get a file, let's say bronze file. In order to do that, I need 2 bronze plates, and those bronze plates require me working on bronze. And in order to work on bronze, I need a bronze anvil. So I will need a bronze anvil in order to get to the ice cellar and be able to store all this food. And since it's already autumn, in the you see in the info screen up there, the season is autumn, which means food will start decaying, and I don't really want to lose all that progress I made. So I want to get there pretty quickly. And you'll notice the torches are kind of burning out. That's because it's raining out here, I believe. So they're burning out quite quick, which is unfortunate. Yeah, let me take a look at this, because I think jack-o'-lanterns would be nice. If I can... Maybe... do I want the faces to be there? Let's see. I can't... Oh yeah, I can't place them. I have to place them on top of something, so that won't work either. Maybe I can place one here for sure, as light. Or maybe I can just place them in the corners here. And then move these over so that I can get... There you go. So, what I'll need to do is go gather more copper, because I'm freshly out of copper. There's a deposit of rich tetrahedrite back there, so that'll be pretty efficient. But in order, I want to... I don't have a lot of cassiterite, so I'll need to be making black bronze. And a black bronze, if I can find this, is up to 25% gold, 25% silver, and 50% lowest of copper. So what I can do here is with this silver, I have some poor silver, which will be pretty efficient, and then just have these gold nuggets. So I can figure out a ratio there to minimize copper usage and make the bronze anvil, but I'll have to go collect resources. So that'll be my job off camera or without commentary, so we can speed things up on your end and get to the juicier parts. Alright, after collecting some resources, I've got most of them here now, and I've smelted up a whole bunch of bronze in preparation for the anvil. So let's make that anvil. There's a lot of black bronze here, and there's a little bit of the normal bronze, but I will need, I forgot to collect all the other ingot molds, but I will need all those ingot molds to make all of that. So let me stay here at the anvil, and hopefully no mobs come up and shank me in the process. But I'm just gonna collect all this bronze here and maybe do a little montage, create that black bronze. And I made a lot of extra so that I can make the file, and I can make the screwdriver and all the other tools that I need to progress forward and get to that ice cellar, which is taking a little bit of time, but I think I'll be able to hit it out by the end of this episode. So I'll see you once I get this finished. Oh yeah, and while I'm at it, I'm going to start up this forge. This is just 8 charcoal. If you right click with TFC charcoal on the ground, you can get this, and if it's surrounded all by stone, then you can light it up as if you're doing campfire, and bam, there you go. So I'm going to fill it up with coal so that it can get hot and heat that up, which will take a little while, but in the meantime, these will start to cool, so I'll be able to collect from these. The same process, and weld 2 of these together. Bam, I'll be ready for that anvil. Alright, now we have the necessary items to make that anvil, so let's do that real quick. Right here. And bam, we've entered the Bronze Age. So let's get this finished as the quest, and we'll replace that copper anvil. And I'll need to make 2 of those, so 2 sheets, which I was already planning to do. But let me make sure none of these drop out while I place this down. There we go. Now I'm overburdened. But once I place this down, put this in my back, now we are ready. Now I can work with these. So these are still cooling. And this is still heating up. It's taking a very long time, but that's the nature with anything that's like clay and you have to heat up there, or anything else that's not like metal. It'll take a long time to heat up. But in the meantime, I'm going to wait for these to cool down. This has cooled down a bit, but I can't do anything with it since I wanted to make rods, which, remember, we have to file down. So I'm just waiting at this point. In the meantime, I can go check on the leather progress. There's a spider there. Leather progress here. There we go. I killed some pigs along the way because we need more leather, especially after that sacrifice. The leather there. Here. Okay. I need to be very quick with this because this needs to be welded together. There we go. Now we can work this. So if I place this in this working here, I hear that spider, but it's daytime. We can look at the plans and we can look, okay, we can make that out of here. So how does this work? Well, let me do this real quick. Green ones draw this one upwards, and the red ones draw it downwards. So the last three need to be hits. So what I have to do here is a hit, 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 and we have to try it again because we didn't hit the mark. And there we go. That's how you work at it. Probably wasn't the best explanation there, but I'm on a time crunch and I don't really want to use the... Oh, it looks like we need to heat these up. Alright, so once these have cooled down beyond where you can weld or you can work, you can throw them back in here into the forge, and that's where you can heat them up. But be careful, because the forge can get pretty hot, and bronze especially has a low melting point, so it can melt. You want to make sure you have ceramic molds there, and it'll catch at least 100 out of anything, 100 units out of that. So if you... oh, I see. I didn't have a hammer there. That's also part of the reason why. So let me make a hammer real quick. Yeah, once you start working with things, stone hammers don't have enough durability, so you'll want to get to a metal hammer pretty quickly. But in the meantime, I'm going to have to heat these back up, and since this is just at bright red, it'll take quite a bit of time. But luckily, I'm not wasting any charcoal. I can just throw coal in here. Thankfully, there's only a spider over there, so in the daytime, they're not going to attack. But be careful here. There we go. So those are heated up. So weld these together. And now I select the plan here. Punch is a very small movement upwards. Bend is a larger one. Upset even larger, and shrink is the largest. Right. Let me move this up a little bit. This, and then it goes the same order. This is smallest to largest, but drawing downwards. So the last three here needs to be a hit in order for this to work. So let me do 1, 2, 3. Didn't quite work, so let me do an upset. 1, 2, 3. Not quite right. And there we go. Now we have 2. So you just have to mess around with it and find the best combinations to work with it. But now I can get this quest done. Make that file, which of course is 2 of these sheets and 1 of this. We've got a file head. There we go. Let's detect that. Oh, nope. Of course, we have to make the actual tool, the file. And there we go. We got the file. Great. Now we can move into making the bloomery and making the wooden bath, which we need lead rods for. So I should have actually smelted up some lead, but that's okay. I have to wait for this to heat up first anyways. But now that we have that, we can also file these down, these bronze ingots down into bronze rods. There we go. And if we look at the screwdriver, it's actually the bronze screwdriver tip. Yeah, that's just a file, a hammer, and some bronze rods here. So let me grab that hammer back out and put that there. Bam, screwdriver. So we're starting to get some of the tools that we need. Oh, it looks like I didn't take care of myself here. Make sure I gotta stay hydrated. All right, so we have that there. Let's take a look at that door real quick. Oak door. All right, screwdriver, we have that. Wood ring we can create pretty easily. Can we create a screw? That's file and short sticks, which is just a saw. All right, we have all the necessary tools now to make the Ice Cellar, so that's what I'll focus on here. Once this is heat up, of course, then we can complete some stuff, but we'll just wait for this to heat up, and then I'll start building out that Ice Cellar. A couple things I did want to show you guys. Oh, I forgot I left this here. But let's see, I have that saw, so if I come over here and grab some of these logs, I'm going to show you something that's useful when you're mining. Because you notice how the cave-ins happens, it makes it pretty risky to do any strip mining or anything like that. And I want to build my Ice Cellar down here. Let me open up that F9 menu right here. There we go. Okay, so the border is right about here. So if I build it, I can build it just right in here. So this was pretty much spot on planning, which is nice. But I want to have it extend, have the ladder extend down here. I want to replace this with wood just to make it look nice. But I want to extend it down here, and I want to start it going down here. But in order to build out here, there's dirt here, but I want to disrupt that. Now, how would I want to keep the dirt up there? Because if I start digging underneath it, it will fall down. And same thing like right about here. So what I need to do here is make some supports. And how you make supports is you take this, take the logs, put it in a vertical, put a saw there, and bam, you have now support beams. And how support beams work are, one sec, let me turn this off and collect. Oh, we are so close. It looks like I might have wasted some charcoal. Because I forgot I needed a bellow. That's unfortunate. So I needed a bellow in order to do this properly. And since I didn't have a bellow, I kind of wasted all that coal. Thankfully it wasn't charcoal though, but I did waste that. So the forge can only get up to, what was it? It was right about here, which was right about at white and yellow white. It didn't quite get to brilliant white, which is what we needed to properly cook that up. So that was unfortunate. I totally forgot about that, but that's something we can show probably next episode. This is getting quite long. Let me show you supports real quick, and then I will build out that Ice Cellar. So over here, I'm going to do a little demonstration for how that works. So when you right click on the ground, and if there's a solid ground here, it'll just throw up 3 supports, because that's typically what you'll want to do is you want to dig into the mountain here and then create a support area here. Now what this does, it prevents things from falling around it. So normally dirt would fall down, right? So let me get some more dirt, and actually I can show you right here. So normally dirt would fall down, but if I place dirt right about here, you'll notice it stays up, and that's crazy. So this will help keep things up all the way to I believe 4 blocks. Ooh, there's more ore, nice. 4 blocks from here. So this is 1 block, 2 block, 3 blocks, 4 blocks. So if I dig up here and let things fall, and then collect some of these here. Alright, so let me get one of these that can fall. So 1, 2, 3. If I place this here, it doesn't fall. But if I place one over here, let's say this cobblestone, which falls, it'll fall down because it's not supported. It's not 4 blocks away. And same thing from the sides. If I mine out some more of this dirt here, and go to the sides, and it can also support it 1 block down and 1 block above this plane here, I believe. Yeah, 1 block above and 1 block below. So that's pretty cool there. That won't fall. But if I build out 1, 2, 3, the 4th one here will fall. So it's from this center, it goes outwards 4 block in a 4 block radius, and up and down 1 block. So that's really useful. It'll help prevent cave-ins. Although if something falls on top of this, these supports will break, so be careful there. Make sure you have a block above. What I typically do is bring some dirt along when I'm mining and just cover up any holes so that if anything falls, it'll fall on top of solid block and not break the supports. So that's what supports do. They're very useful. But I want these back. So let me collect these real quick. But yeah, I will start working on the Ice Cellar, and that will probably be the end of the episode, since it's gonna be quite long, or at least I'll have a lot of stuff, a lot of video to go through before I edit and update. So kind of sucks there. That's a lot of stuff to go through, but I think might enjoy the building that I'll do here. But anyways, see you on the other side. Alright, the building has finished, and just in time. It is autumn, which means the temperature is going to get pretty cold, and some of these crops might start wilting and dying in the fields. Although we are in a pretty warm place, so I don't think I have to worry too much about it. But still, autumn means that the crops will start to wilt. So finished the ice bunker just in time. Now, what I did was I made the doors. I finally had the tools to make the doors, so we now have doors to protect the house, so mobs can't come in willy-nilly like that skeleton did, probably in the montage somewhere. And I also made pressure plates just to make my life a little easier. Now, down here is where the ice cellar is. Essentially, this is a box that's about a 7x7 on the inside, and all the blocks that are outside of it are these walls, which that's why it took so long. Now that this is built up, we can see that the temperature inside, it tells us what it is, but if I start placing ice in there, it'll eat away at it, and the temperature will start coming down. And I need to close both these doors in order for the temperature to drop basically to about 1 degree. But you can see here, these cellar shelves, you can place food in here. And unlike the, let me grab the vessels here. Unlike these vessels here, you can place whole foods up to the full 160 ounces. So that makes it really good. So now I can finally feel free to collect all that food out there without worrying about it, without worrying about the decay going awry, and without worrying about the storage of needing so many vessels. So for example here, let me take all this bread stuff out. Let's say I'll put bread in this section here, all the grains. So let me carve out the decay from these grains, and I'll just stick them right there. We go. That frees up a vessel here. Let's see, some of these I need to carve away at the maize or corn. Now I can actually combine this, and it can stick right here. So this will make life a lot easier. So now that I have all this freed up, when I do need to go, for example, smelt up some things, I can take from here. So I'll just toss all these empty vessels in here. And of course, if I'm venturing off and I don't have a backpack as of yet, then I can take these as well. But that will be pretty much the end of the episode. If I toss these in somewhere so they don't start rotting. But yeah, that will be basically the end of this episode. I'll do a little bit more off-camera work just to get all this place set up for the next episode as we get into, finally, some of the metallurgy that we sort of went into and rushed through a little bit. But now that we have that smithing area set up, and our house is, for the most part, pretty built up, and winter is coming, we'll pretty much be staying inside because the days will be shorter, and we'll be taking a look at some of that metallurgy and getting ourselves geared up. But that'll be the end of this episode, like I said, like 5 times there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and this series. It was quite a bit of work for me to edit, and as I look at the OBS here, it's about like 4 or 5 hours of recording, and I have to edit this down. I might even split this into 2 episodes. We'll see. But anyways, that'll be it. Take care, stay humble, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.